All right. Good morning, everyone. If you can, just mute yourself that are on the call. And then we are really excited to have Michelle Orum with us today. And she is just a really sweet, awesome person. I love her. I want to hang out with her all the time, and we're always so busy when we're at events, but we can't be together. But we met, I don't know where we met, a while ago.
Maui.
But we talked
a bit before that, but I think that was the first chance we had to talk.
Yeah, but we had been talking before, I think, on Facebook. But I'm just really excited to let her just give her health journey and her business journey, and then any tips for us golds. And you're going to see why she's such an awesome person. So I'm handing it over to Michelle right now.
Well, good morning, everybody. Again, my name's Michelle Orum. I live in a town called Fernley, Nevada, which is not very far from Reno, Nevada, which is actually more where I used to live. I just moved out to where we live now not too long ago. I am Carrie Spratley's sister. I don't know if any of you know Carrie Spratley. She is also an Emerald above me. And so she is Helen McFadden's across. Talk to Carrie about it, and Carrie talked to me about it, and that's kind of how it went. So anyways, I am married. I have 5 kids, only 2 at home, so it doesn't it's not as bad as it sounds. I have 2 boys that are here at the house with us now. 2 are grown, and one lives in Utah with her mom. She's 16. But 2 boys at home. They are 8 and 10. I am a nurse. I have worked as a nurse for the last 16 years, and I work per diem. So now I just kind of work when I want to, and I just kind of get to pick and choose what schedule I want, and it's awesome. So I also started a health coaching school called Integrative Institute for Integrative Nutrition, IIN. I started that about 6 months ago. And when I started with Plexus, I really found that I instantly became a health coach. And so I decided to get into health coaching because I wanted to just learn how to become better at being able to help people more with their health and weight loss and all their goals and in life and things like that. And so it's been amazing. I'm about 3/4 of the way through with that, and that's been super informative, and I've learned a lot. And so I'm super excited to kind of move forward with that as well as my Plexus journey. I think I will always be a nurse forever. I think I'm a nurse at heart, so I think I will always be doing that as well. I get a lot of fulfillment from that. So anyways, I actually got started with Plexus in December of 2012, and what happened with me is my sister, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Screen kind of went blank a little bit.
Yeah.
So my sister actually had sent out an email to our entire family about Plexus and how they were doing it and they loved it, and how my brother-in-law had lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. And I was just kind of amazed by that. I was like, holy cow, like, this stuff is all natural. It sounds amazing. And so I was at a place with my health where I had a lot of issues. I had probably about 5 years prior been diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disease, if any of you guys don't know. My mom has it, and 3 of the 4 of the girls in my family have it, and were diagnosed with it. And so I just kind of figured that, that was just, genetically I was predisposed to it, and that was going to be the end of it. And, I was going to go on thyroid medication for the rest of my life, and that was kind of all I knew at that point. And so, so my sister had sent out that email, and I was kind of desperate. I also struggled with something called gastroparesis, which is a paralyzed stomach. I had a lot of severe digestive issues going on. I had a lot of abdominal bloating and just distension and abdominal pain. And even if I drank water, I was miserable. And so I had gone to my GI doctor in town locally had sent me to Stanford to see a specialist, and they did thousands of dollars worth of tests and said it's called idiopathic gastroparesis, which means they didn't know the cause. So that was super frustrating to me to not really be able to get any answers on what was going on with that. And I struggled with a lot of chronic fatigue, difficulty just getting out of bed in the mornings, and a lot of joint pain. Specifically, I had some pretty severe pain in my left hip that made it so that I couldn't sleep on my left side at night. Overall, my health was just no good. I was 50 pounds overweight and just felt miserable. And so when my sister had told me about Plexus, I was like, I'm desperate. I'll try anything, And so I kind of looked up some of the ingredients initially to make sure that they seemed safe. There was no crazy ingredients in there. And everything looked pretty good from what I could tell. And so she actually got some product from Helen and was able to help get me started the next day because I didn't want to wait until mine came in the mail. So I started, and the next day I lost 9 pounds my first 9 days. And I was like, oh my gosh,
wow.
This is awesome. And so my husband at that point had said that he wanted to do it as well. And so I was like, so I talked to my sister about it, price wise. I was thinking, how are we going to afford this? And so my sister had said, well, you probably should do like Eric and I did and sign up for wholesale and, and become an ambassador. And so that made perfect sense to me to get the lowest cost on the products. And so I did. We met one day at Starbucks, and I got started and got my welcome pack and didn't really, do anything with the rest of the stuff that came in my welcome pack, and just kind of put it aside. And then what happened with me is I just, it was just making such radical changes for me personally in my life that it was super hard to keep it a secret. And so I started going to work, and I started having people asking me what I was doing, and and they were noticing with me not just physical changes, but my whole countenance was different. I was happy. I was smiling all the time. And so they knew something was up, and that it was funny. They actually would say things like, you're holding out on us, tell us what you're doing. And so I finally just started sharing, and I started telling them, this is what I'm doing. It's this pink drink. It's amazing. It's helping me with, my cravings and not craving sugar as much, and helping me with my appetite so I can eat the right foods, the right proportions of foods. And they were just like, how do we get it? And so I just shared with them my website, and they just started ordering. And so the first month I had like 1,000 in PV, and my sister was like, hey, Miss $1,000 PV girl. And I was like, I know, right? I'm like, this is crazy. And so that was kind of when I first started just looking at it as, I didn't really want to get into a business or, really, and I just didn't feel like I had time. I didn't have time. I was busy. I was a mom. I had 5 kids at the time. And I just didn't feel like, I didn't have time to read a book or watch TV or anything, so I'm thinking, how can I, do this as a business? But I did start kind of getting in and looking a little bit at the comp plan and looking at how we got paid. And I started getting these paychecks, and I was like, where are these coming from? And I didn't even know if I was being paid right, or I was like, I got to figure this out. And so I started really looking at the comp plan, and I just kind of had a big light bulb go off where I went, wow, this could really have a lot of potential. And so my first thought was, just if I could even just make enough money to cover the cost of my products, that would be awesome, lose weight, get healthy for free, right? And so I was thinking, and then I was just thinking, how can I not share this with other people? This is really life-changing. It's just making me feel so much better. My hip pain, gone. My joint pain that I had, gone. My stomach issues were gone. My Hashimoto's, I tested a couple months after being on the products. I actually started having symptoms of hyperthyroid, and Carrie did as well, and we both had it. And so we both started hearing stories of other people in the company that were saying that they were finding they were able to come off their thyroid meds, and that they were that Plexus was helping with their thyroids. And so we both started saying to ourselves, I wonder if if this is really helping our thyroid. And so I just decided to go get tested. I was like, I'm just going to go to my doctor and see where I'm at. So the very first dose they put me on 8 years ago was 75 micrograms, and I always stayed at the same dose. And I always tested every 6 months, never had to make any changes. And so I went and had it tested, and they said for the first time in like 8 years, they said, you know, you are getting too much. And I was like, you're kidding me. This is so awesome. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so anyways, I also, they also checked an antibody level test. It's called a TPO antibody test, and it's something that they should check to find out whether or not you have autoimmune thyroid. 90 to 95% of people that have low functioning thyroids have autoimmune. The autoimmune part, the Hashimoto's. And most doctors don't test for that, so most people don't know that they have that. And so my TPO antibody level was coming down. It was 571 initially, and it was like 134 or something like that. So it was coming down, and it was getting a lot better. And so, and then my need for thyroid medication was cut in half. So I just snapped my pills in half, and I started taking 37.5. And then a couple months later, I still felt like that I was still a little bit hyperthyroid. I was having symptoms of more of the hyper, and I thought, you know, I'm going to test again and see where I'm at. And so I actually tested again, and they said, in fact, I was still getting too much. And so at that point, you know, along with my doctor, we just decided that I would go off my thyroid meds and see how I did. I've now been off thyroid meds now for 2 years. Whew. And feel great still. My labs are still perfect. My antibody levels are normal. And so what I really found through that was that the gut health was key for me. And Probio 5 and BioCleanse, I had an overgrowth of candida. I knew that with my last pregnancy with my last son. And I knew that I had to get that candida under control and get my gut balance back. And then in turn that helped with my immunity, and then that helped with my autoimmune issues. And so it helped, you know, my body to stop attacking my thyroid gland and for it to allow it to start functioning like it should again, which was awesome. So basically every health issue, every pill I was on, I've been able to come off of. Every issue that I struggled with has now resolved. My energy levels are great. I was able to lose 50 pounds in 6 months, which was amazing. And, the best part about it is that I was really able to learn a new way of eating, a new lifestyle that could work for me for the rest of my life. And so that's just a glimmer of what Plexus has done for me on the health side.
Wow.
So from the business side, so like I said, it was pretty natural to just start sharing out with people about what the products were doing for me. Pretty soon people started to, say, hey, my friends and family, are interested in doing this too. What do I do? And, and so then I just told people to have them sign up and have, them get their own, those people and order under those guys and, not me. And it just started kind of growing from there. It just started to kind of fan out, and people started signing up people who started signing up people who started signing up people. And so I hit silver, I think my first or second month, I think it was the second month in February. So I started in December, and in February I hit silver. And then the next month gold, the next month senior gold. And then 2 months later, I think ruby, and then 2 months later, senior ruby. And so within 12 months, it was actually December 31st of 2012 on New Year's Eve at like 11 o'clock at night. So it was that I hit Emerald, and it was just an amazing thing. I was able to get my dream car, which I always used to joke with my husband and tell him, I love the RX 350. I'm like, I love the shape of it. I love, it's my dream car. I'm going to have that one day. And so then I told him, I said, I only like it in white though. So, I started with this company, and I found out that the car was the Lexus, and the RX, and it had to be white. I was like, oh my gosh, this is good to be true. So, it was absolutely amazing. My daughter got married actually at 19 last year, and had hardly any notice for that, and I was able to pay $10,000 cash to be able to provide her with her dream wedding. So that was awesome.
So
it's just the blessings with this company have been amazing. I've been able to just work when I want to work and have that flexibility and time. My husband and I have always worked opposite schedules so that we didn't have to do daycare for our kids. And so I was always working at night and long hours, and, and I was really having to miss out sometimes on some of the school events and the sporting events and things that happened in the evening hours because I was at work. And so it's just allowed me to have more time freedom to be able to stay home with my kids and not have to miss those events and pick and choose when I, want to work and for how long and that kind of a thing. And so that's been amazing.
Awesome.
So
that's amazing. Now, do you have some tips for us, the golds and above?
Yeah, I've had some tips that somebody had shared with me, and I want to share them with you guys. I think that there's just so many things I wish. There's a lot of things that I wish I would have done differently. When I got to Emerald, what I realized is that I was almost an instant leader, and I never really visualized myself as being a really strong leader. I'm the baby of my family of 4 girls, and so I'm kind of the follower. I'm the one who just, tell me where to go, where to be, like what to do, and I'll do it. And so it was tough to kind of, fill that role. And I really had to get into a big growth and development journey in that next year. And really try to kind of catch up with that level of leadership that I was at. And so one thing I wished I would have really done differently is I wish that I would have grown with personal growth and development as I, through that first year. I really wished I would have done that, but I didn't know. I had never done network marketing before. I didn't know anything about network marketing or anything about any of this, really. I just was, it was quite fascinating. But what I really learned is that this is really like, you got to look at it like a 4-year career, and you can't you have to know that it's something that it's kind of like, for me, like I couldn't just go be a nurse. I had to go to school and I had to learn. And the beauty of network marketing is that you can learn as you grow, or learn as you go type of thing, which I think is the true beauty of network marketing. Whereas in, most careers out there, you can't just go jump in there. I couldn't go jump in there and be a nurse and do a good job. I had to go to school. And so that second year after I became an Emerald, I really started realizing that, like, I read Eric Worre's book, Go Pro, which was the first network marketing book that I read. And I was like, holy cow, there's skills that can be learned. I didn't know there was skills. And so I just really started to focus in on really developing a passion for network marketing and learning more about the industry. The more that I learned about it, the more I fell in love with it, and the more that I realized that this is the way to go. As far as a career, there's no, in nursing, there's only so much I can do. I'm a registered nurse. I'm topped out at my job. I can't make any more money. There's nowhere else to go unless I went and got my master's degree, which is not really going to give me that much more money. And it's going to be a lot of time and money and time away from my family and studying and just all of that. And so, like, there really isn't a whole lot more potential there. With network marketing, the sky is the limit. And so that's what's awesome about it. You can make it as little or as big as you want it, which is amazing. So I love the network marketing industry. And I just wish that I would have kind of learned more along the way and kind of perfected my skills as I went. And I'm still doing that today. I'm still learning and growing. And but one thing that I'll say is that you want to be duplicatable. I know that they talk about this all the time. Duplicate, you have to, it doesn't matter, what you're doing, it has to duplicate out, and so I think just keeping things very simple. You want to make sure that you're not getting too complicated. Sometimes I have people that, they reach out to me and they're afraid to get started, and they feel like they have to know everything. They have to know everything about the products and know everything about the business and the comp plan before they can share with people. And I tell people, you know what, if you tell people too much, you're going to lose people. And you really have to keep it simple. Keep it simple for yourself so that you can feel like that you can keep it simple for other people. And then if you keep it simple, they'll feel like they'll be able to do it. If they feel like they have to be, perfect at everything, the business and the comp plan and the products, and they can't explain it completely thoroughly, then they don't want to explain it. I just say, keep it simple. A lot of in this business, it's really just a few simple steps that we have to do in order to become successful. I think it's important to remain coachable, listen to the people that are in your either sideline or upline that have already had success in this business, learn the things that they did that are working for our business, specifically even with Plexus, what's working for them and what's not working, and do what's working. And then next thing is just to believe in yourself. That's something that I've struggled with a lot. I feel like that, the belief is key, and you have to know that you can accomplish your goals. You have to know where you're going and where you want to go. But you have to believe in the fact that you can get there. Belief in network marketing, I think, is huge. I think if you struggle with belief in yourself, with network marketing, with the products in our company, your business is really going to struggle. And so, like I tell people, wherever you're struggling, you have to go do better at that. Look at the skills. If you're not good at presenting, then start putting yourself in situations where you're going to get to present, and so you can perfect that weakness where you're at. And then belief in the products. I've had people tell me, that, the products don't work and I'm not having any success with that. And I say, then you got to go get into our testimonial page, and you got to start reading the stories about all the people that are having success in our company and with our products and in our business model, because it is working for the masses. And so you have to just kind of surround yourself with, really looking at those testimonials and people that are having success. And the next thing is to challenge yourself. I know that for me, like not long after starting, Carrie and I we did a booth at the Northern Nevada Women's Expo, and I was terrified. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like when we first got there, I just like froze up, and I was like, I can't talk to nobody, like what if they ask me something I don't know, Mm-hmm. And, but I had to put myself in that situation where, I had to talk about the products over and over and over again, and talk about what they did, and just kind of get more comfortable talking with people. And so it was huge for me. That first booth that I did, I left there that day and I thought, I can do this. And so you got to challenge yourself and step outside of what you think you can do, in order to grow. And I feel like that when you can step out of that comfort zone is where really the magic starts to happen. And there's a lot of things that I never, ever thought I would do that I'm doing now. And it's interesting. It really helps to build your self-esteem, your self-confidence. When you think that you can't do something and then you go out and you do it, it's huge. It's huge for your self-confidence and your esteem. So I tell people just, get out there and challenge yourself and do this. Even being on this call today is a challenge for me, because like I said, it's tough for me to speak even still today. It's gotten better a little bit over time, but it's still very hard for me to speak. Small groups are better for me. Big groups are still tough, but it's getting better. So I remember the first Super Saturday, they asked Carrie and I to do Super Saturday, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my gosh, are you serious? And so it was really hard, to get up in front of a room of hundreds and hundreds of people and feel like, all eyes are on me. So, but I did it, and it gets easier and easier. It's like riding a bike. It gets easier and easier the more you do it with practice. The other thing is to detach from the emotional roller coaster of network marketing. And, that's one thing that I've learned over 3 years of being in this business, is that there are there are times when you have super good days and super bad days. I'm sure all of you guys have experienced this already. And I think that you just kind of, people are funny, 1 minute I've had people tell me that they're going to run with me with this. And then the next, 2 weeks later, I'm like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? And they're just, they're out. And so, you have to, I've had people that have had success. I've had people that have not had success. And so you just kind of have to detach from the emotions and know that we have amazing products. We have an amazing opportunity. We have an amazing company, and we just have to kind of push forward and not let those, that emotional part get to us. Because, you have to just stick your feet in the sand and dig a deep hole and know that, no matter what, you have to just persevere through all the tough times, and no matter how hard it gets. I remember one time way back, my husband and I were kind of struggling with our marriage not long after we had first gotten married. And I remember our pastor of our church said, you got to pretend you two are on an island and there's nowhere to go, and you can't leave and you can't separate. You have to be in this for the long haul. And now I look 12 years later into our marriage, and I'm so glad that he gave us that advice of, there's nowhere to go, and you have to know in this business that no matter what happens and how tough life gets and how tough, your business seems to, not be going where you want it to go, you just have to know that you just keep moving forward. And like I told someone the other day, imagine if you thought about it over a 4-year period of time, and what if the first 3 years it didn't really do much, but on that 4th year, everything took off, and that was the year that everything happened for you. Would you stick it out? And you have to kind of look at it more in the long term and not the short term, because there's so much potential there. And even though you're not reaching where you'd want to be yet, you'll get there. You just kind of have to have patience. And that's the hardest part, is not knowing, what the future holds, but you just got to know that it gets better. The other thing is to pray. I know that when I first got started, Carrie was getting all these people, and I was like, how are you getting all these people? And she's like, I'm just praying that God just brings these people, into my life that need these products and need this opportunity, and they're just coming. And so that's kind of what I started doing. I started just praying and saying, God, sorry.
I'm a crier too.
Bring me these people that need these products, and just, guide them to me and bring them to me. And I just started really praying over my business and praying over my customers. And that just made a huge difference. So the other thing is to be passionate. Our team page is called Plexus Passion, and I love that because I feel like that you have to have passion in this industry. I feel like that I've had people that have told me, I joined you in this because you were so excited about it. And so if you're passionate and you're excited, people want to follow people, join people, and, join up with people that are doing amazing and exciting things. And so if they see you doing amazing, exciting things, they're going to want to join up with you and do amazing and exciting things as well. So passion is huge. The other thing I'll say is to praise people. I think it's important to really give people a lot of recognition, praising them privately, praising them publicly all the time. People are motivated by praise. And if you find yourself that you're losing passion, to start to surround yourself with other passionate people. Oftentimes we start acting like the people that we are surrounding ourselves with. And so if you're feeling like, you're not having enough passion, then go surround yourself with motivating, passionate people that can build you up. I love Les Brown. Whenever I feel like I'm not feeling so great, I just turn me on some Les Brown.
Yeah.
And I'm good. So, just even if you don't feel like you have people in your life, go seek out people that are out there, that are motivating and that are doing amazing things, and just try to pretend you're their best friend and and just listen to them as much as you can. Put network and build relationships, talk to people. I know one thing that this is such a relationship business, and I know that a lot of times with what I would do is I would just get together with people and say, hey, let's just get together for coffee. We haven't talked in so long, and just really just tried to focus on reconnecting with people, even though I wasn't talking about Plexus. 9 times out of 10, Plexus would kind of just come up naturally. And I think that when people feel like that you're just really kind of coming after them to sell them something, they're really turned off by that. And that's something that I had to kind of learn as I've gone to be better at that and be better at, let's go to have lunch and let's not talk plexus, and just really let them know that you're genuinely and authentic, and that you're not really just wanting to just make money off of them, and that you're just really looking to help and to be an encourager for them and be a support person for them in their life and help them along the journey, irregardless of whether or not they ever join you or become a customer, and just just continue to just love on people. And so that's been huge for me. I think the other thing is that sometimes you can go to people that that are good in business, and you can say, hey, can we get together and just share business tips? And you can just share with them a little bit about like things that you've learned with business, and ask them to share with you some tips on what they've learned from business. And it kind of gives you an opportunity to be able to share with them, and they probably won't join you, but a lot of times they will send you referrals. I have a good friend of mine who has a, what do you call it? Sip and see. No, not a sip and see. Paint and sip, sorry. She has a paint and sip business. So people, go and they sip wine and other alcoholic beverages or whatever, and they paint. And so, we reached out to each other one day and just wanted to kind of share business tips. And, she's never joined me. She's never become a customer. She's never wanted to do business with me, but I help support her. I hand out flyers for her business at my work. And she sends people to me all the time, her friends that need products that have thyroid issues or weight issues or whatever. And she's constantly sending me referrals. So the other thing is, I talked a little bit about this before, but just to believe you can do it. Speak your goals out loud, show confidence in our products and our company, even on the bad days, and immerse yourself in learning more and more every day. Try to just find something more that you can learn about the business, about network marketing, about the products, about the company, like whatever you can do, just keep that process going of learning and growing. And that's all I got.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I wrote like 3 pages of notes.
Me too.
Yeah, we all have been writing notes. We've learned so much, Michelle. And I love how you speak from your heart. And I know each of us have changed today just from hearing your story. And
I'm glad.
Yes, it's just been a huge blessing. And I know that a lot of others that weren't on the call, I know that they were looking forward to hearing from you also. So I recorded it. So that's good. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart. That was awesome.
Thank you for having me on. It's been my honor to do this.
Loved it. Thank you very much. And we hope you have a wonderful day. And everybody can unmute if you want and say thank you and goodbye to Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Love you guys.